Cereal time, cereal time, cereal time,
Hey, have a bite.
What's up, cereal heads? Today we're going to talk about new Monster Mash cereal from General Mills. That's right, it's only August and we're already talking about Halloween cereals. It's just going to get earlier and earlier every year. But for this wonderful new edition, I'm happy to make an early Halloween exception. So most years around this time, I get on here and make a video about how the Monster cereals are back for Halloween. I made videos for 2016, 2017, and 2018, even though the 2018 boxes were the same ones as the 2017 boxes. But that year they released some other merchandise like board games and mugs that were worth talking about. If it's a good year, we'll get new boxes with new box art. I remember 2014 was a cool year where we got boxes with art from famous comic book artists doing their renditions of Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry. My nephew got these boxes signed for me. You can see it says Stay Crunchy on there with the signature from the artist. Although I am still missing one. I never got Jim Lee to sign this Boo Berry box that he did, but I'm coming for you, Jim Lee, eventually. And they've had other cool boxes throughout the year with some fun designs and cool ad campaigns. And back in 2013, we were super lucky when General Mills brought back Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy cereals for that one Halloween season. Fruit Brute had been gone from shelves since 1982, and Yummy Mummy was gone from shelves since 1993. And even though they didn't keep the flavors of those cereals the same as the original flavors, it was still fun to see those monsters back on shelves. But for the past couple years, it's been the same old thing. Same boxes, same three monsters, nothing really new or creative from General Mills. Which is why when news broke of this Monster Mash cereal a couple months ago, everyone was super excited. And we should have figured they'd hit us with something new and special because it's the 50th anniversary of the release of Count Chocula and Frankenberry cereals. You can see on the front of this box right here, it says 50th anniversary there on the drum set that Fruit Brute is playing. So let's take a closer look at this really cool box here. First, I love that it's a black box. You don't see many black cereal boxes. But as you can see, this one is also bursting with fun, cool color too. You get the whole monster crew here on the front jamming out as the Monster Mash band. You got Count Chocula playing the keyboard there. You got Frankenberry playing the bass. Boo Berry on the electric guitar. You got Fruit Brute playing the drums. And there's Yummy Mummy shaking his thing and the tambourine. And the name obviously makes you think this is a mashup of all the monster cereals. You assume it'd be all 5 monster cereals just mixed together. But that's not really the case. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's made their own monster mashup by mixing all 3 monster cereals together during Halloween. But unfortunately, that's not what this is. So you can see up here on the top, it says it's an artificially flavored berry cereal with monster marshmallows. So there's no Count Chocula chocolate taste to this mashup. In fact, it shows you what the cereal is made up of right here on the top where it shows you all the pieces. You have crunchy little Boo Berry pieces and Frankenberry pieces. And then you have 2 marshmallows that represent Count Chocula, the bat and the swirled ghost. Actually, let's pause here for a minute to talk about the swirled ghost Marbit. Do you remember when they added that marshmallow to Count Chocula? It was back in 1996, and it was kind of a precursor to this cereal because of the theme song from that commercial. Here, take a quick trip down memory lane.
It's a Monster Mash! To introduce the new chocolatey marshmallow in my Count Chocula cereal.
Will it be Frankenstein, the mummy, the swirl ghost, or the werewolf?
And the new chocolatey marshmallow is...
All of them?
Exactly! 4 new chocolatey marshmallows for a chocolatey fright in every bite. For a limited time.
Wild!
Count Chocula cereal, a spooky part of this good breakfast. It's a Monster Mash!
With that song being so universally popular, it kind of begs the question, why didn't they come up with this Monster Mash cereal years before? Anyway, back to the marshmallows here. As I said, you got bats and swirled ghosts for Count. And then you got 2 Marbits that look like Frankenberry's head, but in a yellow and orange color. These are just generic monster marshmallows. They appeared first in Yummy Mummy back in the day. You can see on the original box of Yummy Mummy, they had the yellow monster heads in there. At some point, they added bats later, and eventually ghosts too. I think they had orange-colored monster marshmallows back in original Yummy Mummy as well, but I'm not 100% sure on that. When they reintroduced Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy back in 2013, they had orange and yellow monster head marshmallows in those cereals. But again, those monster head marshmallows were back in Yummy Mummy, so they kind of represent Yummy Mummy. And I don't really see Fruit Brute represented here on the cereal. I mean, I know what they're going for. They're saying the orange monster head marshmallow here is supposed to represent Fruit Brute, but that's a bit of a stretch. They could have put those lime green marshmallows from the original Fruit Brute in here, or maybe even orange colored crunchy pieces of cereal like they did with Boo Berry and Frankenberry there. Whatever, I guess we'll take what we can get. Let's take a look at the side of this box here for some monster cereal history. You can see 1971, Count Chocula and Frankenberry step onto the scene. A year later, in 1972, Boo Berry turns the monster duo into a trio. 2 years later, in 1974, Fruit Brute joins the group. And then in 1988, Yummy Mummy rounds out the lineup. And then 2021, after 50 years on the scene, the monsters reunite reunite to MASH. For the first time ever, the monsters are coming together in one scary, delicious bowl of cereal. I mean, not really, but okay, whatever. Let's take a look at the back of the box here. You can see the whole crew jamming out in the cemetery. They're playing their cover of the Monster Mash song, and it's a graveyard smash. They have a little QR code here at the bottom that will take you to monstermashcereal.com, where you can hear the song and go behind the music. As of the recording of this video, they still hadn't posted anything on that website except for a coming in August 2020 graphic. But I assume the website will be active any day now, so keep checking back. Alright, enough talk. Let's open up this cereal and take a look. So here's what a bowl of new Monster Mash cereal looks like. You can see the Boo Berry and Frankenberry crunchy pieces there. You have the marshmallows in there, you have the bats and the swirled ghost for Count Chocula. And then it looks like you actually have 4 Monster Head marshmallows in there. A yellow, an orange, a pink, and a purple one. And actually upon closer inspection, it looks like you have other Count Chocula marshmallows in there, like the lightning bolts and the little blobs, whatever those are. So it's basically a mashup of the crunchy cereal pieces from Boo Berry and Frankenberry, and then all the Monster marshmallows mixed together. Let's hit them with some milk and give them a try. Okay, so like I said, there's no chocolate flavor there, and the marshmallows aren't flavored either. So it's essentially just a mix of Boo Berry and Frankenberry cereal, and if I'm being completely honest, it's basically just Boo Berry. There may be a subtle hint of that strawberry Frankenberry flavor there, but to me it just tastes like that generic berry flavor of Boo Berry cereal, which is probably my favorite Monster cereal anyway, so I'm not complaining, but there's just not much nuance to the flavor profile here. It's just Boo Berry with some different colored and shaped Marbits. But come on, it's the box that really sells this thing, right? It's a cool and welcome change from the same old Monster cereals they release every year. But don't worry, those 3 cereals are also still available. They even reverted back to the retro boxes. Here's the Count Chocula box with the 50th anniversary Monster Mash stamp there on the front. It has the Count Chocula marshmallows shaped like lightning bolts, bats, swirled ghosts, and again, I'm not really sure what this blob up there is supposed to be. You can see they even updated the back of the boxes here. You got Count playing his keyboard and gives you a little guide to show off some of your Count Chocula moves on the dance floor. Here's the Frankenberry box with the same 50th anniversary logo there. You got blue monster heads, purple bats, white ghosts, and then I think that's supposed to be a Frankenberry head up there. It's kind of weird because I always thought these monster heads were kind of supposed to be Frankenberry, but I guess they're just generic monster heads. And you can see here on the back of this box, Frankenberry's rocking out on his electric bass and gives you some Frankenberry dance moves there at the bottom. And lastly, here's the Boo Berry box for this year. Nice retro looking box. Same Marbits that they have in Frankenberry. And then on the back of the box here, you got Boo Berry rocking out with his electric guitar. And once again, they give you some Boo Berry dance moves there at the bottom. So clearly the Monster Mash band and song is a big part of the marketing campaign this season. I wonder if we'll get more merch or Monster cereal giveaways as Halloween gets closer. It would be cool if we got some new Halloween themed Cereal Squad toys, or maybe if the Monster mascots joined the Cereal Squad. I was kind of hoping we'd see a last minute announcement for the re-release of Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy this year for the 50th anniversary, but unfortunately that doesn't seem to be the case. And finally, I can't talk about the Monster cereals without mentioning that the new recipe isn't as good as the old original oat recipe I had growing up. There have been tons of petitions begging them to bring back the oat recipe that we all loved, but I just don't see General Mills ever going back to the oat flour recipe, unfortunately. You can still use flavored Cheerios with marshmallows to create your own superior versions of the Monster cereals, but hey, hopefully they keep this creative streak going and we get a new fresh idea next year like a new monster. The people want it, General Mills. Let's make it happen. My guess is we'll see the same stuff recycled for the next 10 years until the 60th anniversary. I guess we'll just wait and see. Alright, well, that's gonna do it for new Monster Mash cereal. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, stay crunchy. How about the monster for breakfast today?